the more powerful experiences with the dialogue program that I don't think I'll ever forget was this opportunity to organize a dialogue around church and state. Because, first of all, the planning committee was awesome. It was super diverse. We had liberal and conservative Christians, we had people that represented Buddhism, we had Jewish people, we had Muslims, we had an atheist. We had just a really, really diverse committee as we went to put this together. And so that process of meeting and trying to figure it out amongst ourselves was kind of something beautiful. And then we ended up getting to have this dialogue at the Church of the Nazarene, which is a relatively conservative Christian church. And that was out in the Westchester area. And what was awesome was around 250 people came to this, and it was super diverse. Again, we had Muslims, we had people from the Jewish faith, we had Buddhists, we had conservative Christians, we had liberal Christians, we had atheists, we had some Hindus. We had a very, very diverse grouping of people. And it started the way all of our dialogues principally did, by sharing some shared experience together. And in that, we had a diverse panel where we heard different perspectives on church and state and that separation. But my favorite part was when we broke into the small groups. There were about 8 people in each small group. And our dialogue facilitators did a really good job of keeping that space and helping people really connect and listen to one another. And some of the cool things that happened during that time was so abortion came up, as you might imagine. It hadn't actually come up during the large group panel. Instead, it came up in multiple small groups. So in one of those small groups, a woman who happened to be conservative Christian, and she just said, that abortion was completely wrong. People who did that were going to hell. And she was shocked that it didn't come up, and she just felt it was really important to bring into the mix. And so in the way this structure works, someone paraphrased what she said, and then they went ahead and said their own point, and their point happened to differ a little bit. And then someone else spoke, and then someone else spoke, and she wanted to get back in. And the person, in order to get into the conversation, you have to paraphrase the person before you. So she ended up paraphrasing a pro-choice position. And she did that. Then she shared her point of view, and so on. And then the thing continued. There was genuine questions. And when it got to the reflection round, she identified that she had never actually really listened to the thought about the pro-choice position, and that she couldn't really imagine people were going to hell. After she thought about that, she totally still remained anti-abortion, but she just couldn't imagine people were going to hell. So that felt like a really special thing, to kind of have that level of openness and understanding start to open up. And that was happening throughout that dialogue. There were people who had never met anyone of the Islamic faith. There were people who had never met Jewish people. They ended up, some of them, going out to get coffee afterwards. So that's the kind of thing I really want to see. That's the kind of thing I think we need in our society, to break down all these boundaries we have and really recognize the common good and, how we're all better together.